Hello and welcome to another 9-minute Bible study. Our starting point is the book of Acts chapter 1, verse 4. The book of Acts chapter 1, verse 4. As the book of Acts starts, Jesus is on the Mount of Olives with his believers. He is about to ascend back to the Father, something he spoke to them about before he went to the cross. In Acts chapter 1, verse 4, we read, "And being assembled together with them, commanded them that they should not depart from Jerusalem, but wait for the promise of the Father, which saith he, Ye have heard of me. For John truly baptized with water, but ye shall be baptized with the Holy Ghost not many days hence." Let's look at some of the key words here. The first one, together. Jesus wants this group to stay together as a group. If there's going to be a mighty move of God, the group must stay together. Alone, it does not work. Yes, the Lord can move through one, but if you are looking for a revival that is going to shake your area, a revival that will shake the world, the group, the believers must stick together. The next word, commanded. As in Jesus told them what to do, now he is expecting them to obey Jesus. If there's going to be any great move of God, we must be in obedience to what the Lord is telling us. The next word, wait. There is always an element of time when we are talking about the move of God. Time. We must be willing to give our time to see this through. We're not talking about just a minute here or 9 minutes here or an hour here. We're talking about substantial time. Real time, days, weeks, months. If there's going to be a move of God, the church must be willing to invest time in order for this to happen. Next, the promise of the Father. Before Jesus went to the cross, he taught his disciples about how the Holy Ghost would come. Now it's about time for this promise to be fulfilled. God promised his believers the baptism of the Holy Ghost. Now he is going to fulfill that promise. In our time, this promise is in effect. This promise has not changed one bit. The promise of the Holy Ghost is for us just as much as it was for them. Next, heard. Jesus taught his believers about the Holy Ghost. Why is the Holy Ghost so important? It begins with Jesus teaching about the Holy Ghost. If Jesus said the Holy Ghost is important, then the Holy Ghost is important. We need to hear the word of the Lord, the word that says the Holy Ghost is important. Next, not many days hence. We already mentioned the time element when we started. Now we are starting to hone in a little bit. The wait for the actual power will not be a long wait. Now remember, our time and God's time is a completely different concept. We think instant. We came up with the word nanosecond. We want things to happen quicker than a second. Well, things don't work that way in the spiritual. But in certain cases like the power, it's not going to be a long wait either. Yes, there needs to be an investment of time. But we're not talking about a long wait either. Let's go on to verse 8. Jesus continues, "But ye shall receive power. After that, the Holy Ghost is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost parts of the earth. Let's start with the word receive, or come into possession of something. The believers are about to become in possession of the Holy Ghost. This is going to be a real something that they're going to have in their lives. This is something we receive, as in it is for us. All we have to do is receive. That means willingly receive. As we will see, the believers were willingly in the upper room, waiting and praying. They then willingly received the Holy Ghost. They were there with one purpose in mind, to receive the Holy Ghost. When the believers come with that purpose, they will receive the Holy Ghost. Next, power. The believers are given power through the baptism of the Holy Ghost. This is talked about in the book of 1 Corinthians when the Apostle Paul talks about the gifts of the Spirit. The power of the Holy Ghost is for the believers. It is for the church. In order for the believers, in order for the church to accomplish what they need to accomplish, we need this power. Why? Because Jesus said so. And if Jesus said so, then this is good enough for us. Next, Holy Ghost. The baptism of the Holy Ghost is going to happen first. They will receive then the power of the Holy Ghost. The baptism is the door to the power of the Holy Ghost. Next, witnesses, or to tell others about the Christ, the cross, and the resurrection. The believers need the power of the Holy Ghost in order to tell the world about Jesus. The same is true today. We need Holy Ghost power in order to operate as a church, in order to tell others about the Christ, the cross, the resurrection. Jesus then gives 4 locations. First, Jerusalem, the main headquarters for us, the type of the local church. Then he mentioned Judea and Samaria, the areas in and around Jerusalem that were favorable to the Jews, the areas in and around Jerusalem that were not favorable to the Jews. The point, both of these areas would be receiving the gospel. How? Because the disciples, the believers, now have Holy Ghost power. And with Holy Ghost power, we can witness to anyone and everyone. The door is open to witness to all. Why? Because the Holy Ghost power will make this possible. And we will pick up with this in our next lesson.